Hey guys, first of all, I'm on day 5 of fasting. And if you would have asked me back in the day to fast for 24 hours, I would have told you you're freaking crazy and that I would lose all my muscle because I used to be a bro. And I used to think that I had to eat every 3 hours to gain muscle and not lose muscle because I would become catabolic. I don't want to make that video about this, but I will tell you one thing. When you fast, it raises your HGH, human growth hormone, if you're a woman by 160%, and if you're a man by 200%. And actually human growth hormone actually helps repair tissue. It helps protect your muscle tissue. There's so many different things that human growth hormone does for you. Very good. So I'm going to talk about fasting. When you're fasting, say if you're not in ketosis, and you're just a regular guy or gal that eats a standard American diet. It's called a SAD, standard American diet. And just say you're eating a healthy diet. Well, that's going to take you, depending on how long you fast, it's going to take 1 to 3 days to burn through the glycogen in your liver. After that starts happening, what happens is you deplete your body of minerals. And when your body gets depleted of minerals, you can get really lethargic, really weak, really tired, irritable, moody, snappy, dizzy. They call that the keto flu. That's the jargon, the terminology for that, keto flu. So even when you're already in ketosis, you still have to monitor your minerals. And the reason the keto flu happens is because in your muscles hold glycogen. And I'm not going to get into the science about that. They hold glycogen, and when your body's depleting, it loses a lot of vitamins and minerals. And when it's losing minerals, that's bad for us. We need those minerals. So you need to supplement minerals. So when you're fasting, what I always do is I take a multivitamin. There's some Nazis out there that do water fasting only, and they do, say, sodium with a little bit of potassium. I get it. I've done those before. But when I'm doing extended fasts like today's 5 days, there's no way in heck I'm not doing my minerals. And I'm also wanting to get my vitamins. So anyway, multivitamin. And here's the 4 big guys you need. Sodium. I use Himalayan sea salt. The government says about 2,500, but actually when you're actually fasting and when you're in ketosis, you can do up to 5 grams, which is 5,000 sodium. I have blood work for years. I have all of my stats and statistics. My blood pressure is phenomenal. And my blood pressure, my glucose, my fasting insulin. There's a lot of different things on how I'm healthy. My pulse is in the 50s. So don't worry about sodium if you're healthy and you don't have high blood pressure. Also, fasting lowers blood pressure. You need potassium. Potassium, I use bulk supplements. The Himalayan sea salt, I use Pink Sherpa. Bulk supplements with the potassium. And you need 4,700 potassium per day. As far as magnesium goes, you can take a supplement when you're fasting like this because it's going to be hard to get it from your food because you're not eating. 450 a day. When you're doing calcium you're supposed to have 1 gram, roughly 1 gram per day. So there's my vitamins and my minerals there. So as I'm doing the fast, what do I do when I'm losing my shiz? Because I'm telling you what, when you first stop eating, you're going to get hungry. So my first go-to, actually I use water. I have cold water in the fridge. That's my first thing I hit in the morning to stimulate my metabolism. And then I use good old-fashioned coffee. Coffee has caffeine, it's a stimulant, and it actually releases free fatty acids into the system and actually helps you start burning fat, and it staves off hunger, and it peps you up a little bit, gets your head in the game. So I use that. So some of you guys might be saying, what happens later in the day when you're losing your shiz and you don't want to feel all wired out? Because sometimes I do get wired out and I get anxiety, and I already have anxiety issues as it is. What I'll do is I'll have a go-to. I'll go to green tea. Green tea, decaf green tea, okay? Pay attention, because tea will really amp you up. If you do not get the decaf, it's stronger than coffee actually. Trust me on this. So that's another go-to I like to do. What I like to do also when I do my minerals, if I'm not going to just place them in water, I'll do the water and then I'll do these things over here. Let me talk about these. Apple cider vinegar. It's actually very acidic, but it actually makes the body alkaline. And what it does, it helps out with your insulin resistance and creates more insulin sensitivity and lowers blood sugar, which promotes fat burning. Then I use liquid aminos. Liquid aminos is actually a great, excellent soy substitute. And the reason I have the big bottle out here, because I like to save money, I buy this giant bottle, and then I do is I refill the small bottle, and I leave the small bottle on my counter. And I do the same thing with liquid aminos, but my space is limited up here. So the liquid aminos is a salt substitute. It's like soy sauce, and it actually makes it taste really good. You have a great flavor. So I'll do and you can add lemon if you want to, but I don't have any lemon, so I'm not doing the video with lemon. Apple cider vinegar, liquid aminos, potassium, and Himalayan sea salt in water. Or let's just say you got some days going by and you're really losing it a little bit, or you just gotta have a fix. I know, this is sad. Actually, chicken or beef broth. Not the bone broth, because the bone broth has protein in it, and we're attempting to cleanse out the body. So what is the reason? And actually with the broth, chicken or beef broth, you can put the salt, you can place the potassium in it, you can do the liquid aminos and the apple cider vinegar, pepper, and man, it tastes freaking good. And that's actually what I'm setting up now, and this is what you'd want to break your fast with. You want to break your fast with a broth. And what the broth does, it helps create a nice, it's called a mucosal layer. And the mucosal layer is inside of your stomach, and it creates it's ready to receive a meal. So make sure when you're breaking the fast after it's extended for a while, you gotta be really careful, because your bowels and your insides are gonna flip out if you just start chowing down. Let me talk about that real quick. So when you wanna break the fast, you wanna have about 10 calories, roughly, per kilogram after several days of fasting. So roughly, I'm about 86 kilograms, so I'm gonna have sub 100 calories to break my fast. And as I break my fast with that, I'm gonna wait an hour or so. You could wait as short as 15 to 30 minutes, but I'm gonna wait most likely an hour or so. And then when I break the fast, my first food is going to be really plain protein, like shoe leather, like plain chicken breast, plain turkey breast, plain ham, or say lean roast beef. And I'm gonna break it because it doesn't taste super good. Because you gotta be careful what's gonna happen. When you break your fast, it could help set you off. That's not help. It could set you off. And what does that mean, set me off? Well, when you haven't eaten for 1 day, 2 days, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, your brain and your body knows you haven't eaten. And as soon as it senses food, it thinks that you just killed something, and it's time to fight over that carcass and eat as much as you can, because you haven't had it, and your brain, your body doesn't know when the next meal's coming. So it's gonna maybe set you off for a binge. So how do you beat the binge? You do it, you get the bone, or the chicken broth or beef broth. I keep saying bone, sorry. You get the chicken or the beef broth, you break that, it's gonna taste really good, set back, get that lean protein. How much lean protein? Well, you can have anywhere, if you're a smaller person, say 2 to 3 ounces. If you're a larger person, you can have 3 to 5 ounces, somewhere roughly in there. Careful putting stuff on it. Okay, salt and pepper, the plainest that you can make it, the better, because you don't want to trigger the brain to make you binge, because I've blown it. So what happens if you binge? You haven't eaten in days, you're not going to gain fat, right? Well, you actually will gain fat, but what's going to happen, you're going to have this thing called disaster pants. Yeah, and you put that together, I'm not going to describe it, and let's just say, I already did that for you. I've learned the hard way. I'm a fat kid deep down inside of me. I love to eat, and I went off, and man, I had problems. So let me do the learning for you so you can avoid the problems that I've experienced. I could talk days, I'm exaggerating, but I could speak a long time about fasting and the benefits. If you want to check our social media on Soul Fitness, I actually did a video yesterday speaking about the science more about it, but I'm just attempting to just kind of keep it a little bit simple, more layman, and so people can go, hey, all right, well, tell me more about that. So you can Google on the internet and a lot of different things, but if you have a coach that helps you through it, a coach can help guide you. So I don't want to make this video too salesy. I just wanted to make it really content and giving you some quality substance to study and learn from. But if you do want to learn, you can click message me or whatever, and I'll give you a free nutrition consultation just to help educate you. And who knows, maybe you'll let me nutrition coach you. By the way, we got a promo going on in Soul Fitness, 3 weeks free. Can't beat that. I have links on my wall. You guys know I'm always posting. You know I am. I'm always doing my videos. Or I'll give you a free PT session. New Year's is coming, guys. Get ahead of the curve. Make it New Year's solutions and not resolutions. Because I'll tell you what, resolutions, you know, don't last. If you don't believe me, go to the gym, January, wait 2 weeks. Wait 2 weeks, wait 3 weeks, wait 4 weeks. It's going to be a ghost town again. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a happy new year. You know I'll be posting more stuff later. So peace to you. Be safe.